Do you know how many women move through the world every day not realizing just how magnetic they really are? And I'm not talking about looks. I'm talking about presence, about that quiet electricity that fills a room before a single word is spoken. Carl Jung once said, "The privilege of a lifetime is to become who you truly are." And Elle would say, when you walk into a room with your light turned on, everything else shifts to make space for you. Today, I'm going to show you 12 signs that you're already far more attractive than you believe. And I mean attraction that shakes a man's soul. The kind of attraction that doesn't need to perform because it radiates. Stay with me to the end, because once you hear sign number 12, you'll never underestimate your energy again. But before we dive in, if you've ever doubted your worth, if you've ever walked past a mirror and questioned what others see in you, this is your moment to pause, to breathe, and to recognize that you are not lacking. You are unfolding. And if this speaks to something in you, if it cracks something open in your heart, then do me a favor. Press that like button, hit subscribe. I'm pouring my soul into this content so women like you stop underestimating the kind of energy you carry. And truthfully, I need your help to keep spreading this message. So thank you in advance. Let's keep growing together. Now, hey ladies, imagine this. You walk into a room, not glammed up, not putting on a show, just you, effortless, radiant in that t-shirt and messy bun, or maybe in your cozy oversized sweater and favorite flats. You're thinking about a podcast you heard this morning or mentally checking your grocery list, and yet he sees you. And the moment your energy brushes the edges of his attention, it's like something rewires. His hand stalls mid-gesture. His laugh fades mid-breath. His posture shifts like a tree leaning towards sunlight. He tries to play it off, but his whole body just gave you away. That's not a coincidence. That's not surface-level attraction. That's soul-level resonance. And you didn't do anything to cause it, you just are. My friends, this is where we break the lie. The one that says you need to look a certain way, act a certain way, or earn a man's attention. No. Real attraction doesn't come from performance. It comes from presence. It's in your stillness, your softness, your self-trust. It's in the way you smile without needing anything back. You've been told you need to chase, to impress, to prove. But I'm here to tell you the truth. The woman who knows who she is doesn't chase, doesn't force, doesn't flinch. And here's what Carl Jung would remind you: the unconscious doesn't lie. When a man feels your energy, when something in him reacts before his mind catches up, that's not imagination. That's the truth trying to surface. And the best part, you don't even see it, because you've spent so long doubting yourself, you forgot that your energy is unforgettable. That's what we're unlocking today. The 12 signs that you're already making a deeper impact than you think. The ones he feels in his body, in his breath, in his bones, even if he never says a word. So stay with me. Because this isn't about flirting. It's not about tactics. It's about truth. And once you remember who you are, the kind of woman who makes a man stop mid-sentence just to feel something he can't explain, that's the kind of woman who doesn't just attract love, she becomes the reason it stays. Let's begin. Sign 1, he gets clumsy around you. The unconscious speaks first, and the body is its language. That's not just a beautiful idea from Carl Jung. It's a lens, a way of seeing the truth underneath what a man says by watching what he can't control. Let's start right here. Sign 1, he gets clumsy around you. You ever notice a man who seems smooth around everyone else suddenly lose all his rhythm when he's talking to you? He fidgets with his shirt collar, clears his throat for no reason, drops his keys, forgets his words mid-sentence. Or the opposite, he starts talking fast, laughing too loud, or giving you way too much eye contact and then pretending he wasn't. That's not him being awkward. That's not a lack of confidence, and that's emotional overload. Imagine you're standing at the edge of a still lake. You toss in a small pebble, barely a flick of movement, and yet the ripples stretch across the whole surface. Now picture you as the pebble and he is the lake. You walk in, maybe you don't say a word, and suddenly his whole system is reacting to the frequency you just dropped into his world. And here's what might come to your mind. But if he's clumsy, doesn't that mean he's not into me? Or maybe, wouldn't a confident man be smooth, chill, in control? My friend, let me break that lie right now. Men are trained to act cool, but attraction doesn't ask for permission. It hits before the brain catches up. A man can rehearse charm all day, but when he's in the presence of a woman who disorients him in the best way, his body will short circuit, his voice will betray him, his hands won't know what to do. He's not malfunctioning, he's encountering energy he wasn't ready for. And the wildest part? You might think you're the one who's off balance. You might shrink, you might second guess, because you were taught that being magnetic had to look like flawless confidence and effortless elegance. But the truth is, your energy messes with equilibrium. And that is exactly what deep attraction does. Denzel would say it like this: that ain't awkwardness. That's your presence hitting him like a jazz note he wasn't expecting. Beautiful, sudden, and completely unrepeatable. And sometimes that power scares him more than he'll ever admit, because it's not about your clothes, it's not about the way you fixed your hair. It's about something in you, calm, soft, sure, that makes his system whisper, pay attention, she's different. Now let me tell you something real. You do not need to dull your energy to make him comfortable. You do not need to question your worth just because he fumbled his words. And in fact, that hesitation, that awkward pause, that sudden shift in him, that is the sign. It's his soul reaching for balance in a moment that felt bigger than him. So next time a man gets a little clumsy in your presence, don't misread it as disinterest. Smile, stay still, let your energy do what it's doing, because you don't need to force the connection. Your presence already sparked it. And if this is what happens when he's just standing next to you, wait until you see what his eyes do when he truly starts to feel you. Stay with me, because sign number 2 will take us even deeper into the gaze that gives everything away, even when the lips stay silent. Sign 2, your energy interrupts his train of thought. So ladies, imagine this. He's in deep conversation, maybe laughing with his friends, mid-thought, mid-story, hands flying in animated rhythm. He's flowing, in control. And then you walk in, not loud, not flashy, just present. And without even trying, the air changes. He sees you, and for a split second, the words catch in his throat. His sentence slows. His laugh softens, his eyes flick toward you, and then flick back like he's trying to pretend he didn't just feel the earth tilt. He stumbles over a word he said 100 times before, or worse. He completely forgets what he was even saying. That's not distraction, my friend. That's disruption. When a woman like you enters a space with real, grounded energy, not trying to take up space, but owning it just by being, you don't just enter the room. You rearrange the atmosphere, you shift the current, you tilt the emotional gravity, and this is where a lot of women start second guessing. Did I interrupt something? Was I too much? Maybe I shouldn't have walked in like that. No, you didn't interrupt anything. His system interrupted itself because it just sensed something real. Carl Jung said, wherever the soul awakens, there is disruption. That's what you are, an awakening. You walked into the room and something in him stirred, not lust, not curiosity, something deeper, something like remembrance. It's not just the way you look, it's the calm power in your step, the way your gaze doesn't scramble for approval, the quiet confidence that says, I don't need to prove I belong, I know I do. You're not yelling your value, you're embodying it. And that disorients a man who's used to noise, not presence. And here's where it gets powerful, because this kind of reaction can confuse you too. You're not used to being felt so deeply without being touched. You're not used to being the reason someone forgets their own sentence. So you might dismiss it, downplay it, think it was a fluke. But the truth is, you didn't interrupt him, you activated him, and he doesn't even know what to do with it yet. Denzel style, you didn't just show up, sweetheart. You walked in and rewrote the energy map of the whole damn room. You ever notice that the loudest shift doesn't come from volume, it comes from vibration? Thunder doesn't announce itself, it arrives. And so do you. So the next time a man forgets his thought, fumbles a word, or suddenly shifts his tone when you enter the space, don't rush to apologize, just smile. Stay in your energy, because his soul is tuning in before his mind can even name the station. And if this is what happens when he's mid-sentence, wait until you see what unfolds when his eyes lock onto you. Sign 3, oh, it's coming. And trust me, eyes don't lie. Sign 3, his eyes linger, then flick away. So ladies, picture this. You're not even looking for him. You're just moving through your moment, scrolling the wine list, fixing your sleeve, laughing with a friend, and then you feel it. His gaze, not the quick glance, not the polite look, the linger, the pause, that almost too long second where his eyes lock on you like they're trying to memorize a feeling, not just a face. It's like he's searching for something and suddenly realizes you're it. He tries to look away. Maybe he even does, but his eyes find their way back again and again, like they've lost permission to focus on anything else. That's not a habit. That's not manners. That's chemistry, surfacing through the windows of the soul. This is the third sign. His eyes speak louder than his words ever could. Because, my friends, when a man is truly drawn to you, his gaze isn't just looking at you, it's being pulled by you. And sometimes he doesn't even realize he's doing it. You walk by, and time slows just enough for him to notice the way you move, the softness in your eyes, the curve of your smile, and it hits him in a way he can't quite process. That's not attention. That's absorption. Denzel would say, that look, that's not a stare. That's a moment being branded into his memory. So don't brush it off. Don't look down like you don't matter. Look back, hold it, let him feel the gravity of you. Because in that moment, you're not just seen, you're felt. And what comes after that? Let's just say, when the eyes confess, the body starts to follow. Stay with me. Sign 4 is where it gets physical. Sign 4, he finds reasons to be near you. So picture this, my friends. You're at work, or maybe at a social event, or even just running errands, and there he is again, not doing anything dramatic, not making a big entrance, just there, asking you if you need help with something simple you clearly have handled, wondering aloud if you know the Wi-Fi password he already used yesterday, standing a little too close when there's plenty of space elsewhere. And at first you might write it off. Maybe he's just friendly. Maybe he's bored, like, maybe I'm imagining this. But let me pull back the curtain on what's actually happening. This is sign 4. He keeps finding reasons to be near you, because as Jung said, the psyche always seeks its reflection. And when a man senses something in you that speaks to his deeper self, his real self, he can't help but gravitate toward you, even if he doesn't fully understand why. It's not about the charger he asked to borrow. It's not about the coffee shop recommendation he suddenly needs. It's about being in your energy, you in your calm confidence, you in your natural rhythm, you not chasing, just being. And that frequency, he wants to be near it. He doesn't know what to call it, so he invents reasons to return. Denzel would say it like this: it's not the coffee he needs, it's the moment with you. So don't overlook those small encounters, the accidental run-ins, the unnecessary questions, the subtle or not so subtle ways he lingers, because real attraction doesn't always kick down the door. Sometimes it just keeps showing up with an excuse until it finds the courage to name what it really wants. And when he starts closing the distance, just wait, because sign 5 is about to show you the shift in his entire energy. Sign 5, his behavior shifts only around you. So ladies, imagine this. You're in a group setting, maybe a dinner, maybe at work, maybe just hanging out, and you're watching him. Not in a flirty way, just observing. He's joking, relaxed, laughing easily, his shoulders loose, his voice smooth, totally in his element. But then you speak, or maybe you simply look at him, and suddenly something changes. He straightens his back. His hands start moving a little more. He clears his throat. He becomes just slightly more careful, more aware, like someone just turned up the volume on the room's energy and his nervous system got the alert. That shift, that's sign 5. His behavior changes around you, not because he's faking it, but because something in you pulled a different version of him to the surface, a version he didn't rehearse, a version he didn't even know was waiting. Carl Jung said, that which we resist reveals what we most long for. So when you see a man go from relaxed to slightly nervous, from smooth to thoughtful, from chill to a little intense, it's not that you made him uncomfortable, it's that you made him feel. And feelings, real ones, make people adjust without even realizing why. He laughs softer. He watches more. He edits his words mid-sentence like he suddenly cares how he's being perceived. Not because you demanded it, but because your presence made him remember there's something deeper happening here. And the best part, you didn't have to say a word. You didn't have to perform, flirt, or put on a show. Denzel would say, a real queen doesn't need to speak to shift a man's posture. Your energy did that. You triggered a version of him that's more present, more aware, more alive. And once a man realizes he's not just acting differently around you, he's becoming different around you, that's when you stop being just another woman and start becoming the standard. Now stay close, because in sign 6, we're about to talk about the one thing he can't control, even when he tries. His smile. Sign 6. His smile gives him away before his words do. So picture this, my friends. You're walking toward him, you're not even trying to get his attention, you're just being you. Calm, grounded, maybe even a little distracted by your own thoughts. And then you catch it. That smile, not the polite one, not the one people give just to be nice. I'm talking about that smile. The one that starts in the corners of the mouth but lives in the eyes. The one that softens his whole face, drops his shoulders, and just for a second, makes him look like a little boy caught in a moment of wonder. That smile, that's not strategy, that's soul. Because this is sign 6. His smile gives him away before his words do. You see, when a man feels something deep, something unexpected, something real, his body responds before his mind does. He doesn't choose to smile at you. The smile chooses him. He might try to pull it back. He might look down. He might even shake his head like he just caught himself slipping, but the damage is already done. As Jung would say, emotion bypasses thought. And this isn't just about attraction, it's about delight. You spark something in him that feels familiar and brand new all at once. And no matter how cool, composed, or calculated he usually is, in your presence he leaks joy. Soft, involuntary, honest joy. And the science even backs it up. There's something called a Duchenne smile. It involves the muscles around the eyes, the kind you can't fake. It's biologically connected to real emotional warmth. And when you see that, oh, you've touched something deeper than appearance. Denzel would say, his lips didn't plan that smile, his soul did. So next time you see that grin rise up and take over his whole face when he sees you, don't brush it off. Don't tell yourself it's just manners. That moment wasn't just reaction, it was revelation. Because a man may be able to guard his words, control his body, and manage his tone. But his smile, that betrays everything. And if his smile shows you how he feels, wait until you experience what happens when his body starts closing the space between you. Stay with me, because sign 7 is all about the subtle moves that scream, I want to be close. Sign 7, he gets quiet in your presence. So ladies, imagine this. You're sitting across from him, maybe at a dinner table, maybe in a car, maybe on the couch after a long day, and suddenly there's a pause. A long one, and no jokes, no chatter, no quick clever lines to keep the mood going, just stillness. But here's what's different. He doesn't look at his phone, he doesn't shift uncomfortably, he doesn't scramble to fill the silence. He just stays there, present, breathing in the moment like it's sacred. That, my friends, is sign 7. He gets quiet in your presence. Now, let me be clear. This is not awkward silence. This is reverent silence. It's the kind of quiet that doesn't feel empty. It feels full, like something powerful is humming just beneath the surface, like the air between you two is carrying more truth than words could ever say. Carl Jung said, in stillness, the soul reveals itself. And that's exactly what's happening here. See, most people are addicted to noise. Background music, constant scrolling, endless talking. Silence makes them nervous. But when a man feels something real, something magnetic, something he doesn't quite know how to name, he doesn't rush, he savors. That stillness, that's not him zoning out, that's him dropping in. And I get it. You might be tempted to break the silence, to say something funny and to ask a question, to make it comfortable. But don't touch that moment. Because what's happening in that silence is everything, and he's feeling you, not just looking at you, not just thinking about you, feeling you. Denzel would say, if a man can be silent with you, he's not bored, he's captivated. So if you've ever sat with a man and felt the stillness grow between you like time just took a deep breath, don't mistake it for distance. That's presence. That's the space where chemistry gets real. Because a man who can sit in silence with you without checking out, that's a man who's already all in. And just wait, because next, in sign 8, we're going to talk about the kind of touch that says everything, even when he thinks he's playing it cool. Sign 8, other women react differently around you. So ladies, imagine this. You walk into a room, confident, relaxed, not trying to make an entrance, just being you. And almost immediately, the air shifts, not just with the men, but with the women. Some smile at you, genuinely. They lean in, they admire, maybe they compliment your style or the way you carry yourself. There's a lightness there, an openness, you feel it. But then there's the other kind of reaction, the sideways glance, the subtle eye roll, the passive-aggressive comment masked as a joke, the sudden cold shoulder from someone who barely knows you. And you think, wait, did I do something wrong? This is sign 8. Other women react differently around you, because here's the truth. Your radiance doesn't just attract, it reflects. Carl Jung said, the shadow shows itself in others' projections. So when you walk in with presence, authenticity, and effortless magnetism, you don't just make people see you, you make them see themselves. And not everyone is ready for that mirror. Some women, the ones who are grounded in their own worth, will feel inspired by you. They'll recognize something familiar. Your glow reminds them of their own. But others, the ones still battling their own self-doubt, your light can feel like a spotlight on everything they're unsure of within themselves. And instead of saying, wow, she's radiant, they say, who does she think she is? And I want you to hear this loud and clear, my friend. That's not about you. That's about them. You're not too much. You're just more than they've learned how to handle. Denzel would say, if your glow makes others squint, it's not your job to dim it. So don't start questioning your energy. Don't shrink to make others feel comfortable. Don't apologize for a presence that's been earned, not borrowed. Because the woman who holds her light in a room full of projection, she's not intimidating. She's unignorable. And when even your absence starts making noise, well, that's what we're talking about next. Sign 9 is where your energy starts to echo long after you've gone. Stay with me. Sign 9, your presence stays after you leave. So ladies, picture this. You've already left the room. Maybe you had to run an errand, step out of the gathering, or just walk away from the table. The door closes behind you and everything seems to carry on, but not for him. He's still there, physically, but his attention, it's with you. His body may be in the room, nodding, smiling, pretending to stay in flow. But his mind is echoing with the way your voice sounded, the way your eyes locked with his, the way your energy made the air feel just a little warmer. This is sign 9. Your presence stays after you leave. Because when a woman is truly magnetic, her impact doesn't end with her footsteps. It lingers. The way your laughter softened the tension in the room, the way your stillness calmed something restless in him, the way your gaze made him feel like someone finally saw him. Carl Jung said, the soul's impact is never in the noise, it's in the echo. And baby, you are the echo. You ever have someone text you after you left just to say, hey, you good? Or I didn't get to say bye. That wasn't manners, that was absence felt. That was the energy void your presence left behind. And that kind of void, that's unforgettable. Because you didn't just pass through, you shifted the space. The way someone walks into a room and everything lifts, and when they leave, you feel like something valuable just exited. That's you. Denzel would say it like this: you don't just arrive, you remain. And here's the truth most women miss. Attraction isn't always loud. Sometimes it's the silence after you've gone that reveals how deep it really went. So don't underestimate your impact just because no one said anything in the moment. Sometimes the proof shows up in the way they fall quiet once you're gone, in the way their smile fades a little, in the way the conversation doesn't quite feel the same. Because when your presence is felt, your absence is heard. And if your presence can leave a mark, wait until you see what your stillness can do when even your silence speaks louder than words. Sign 10 is next, and it's going to show you that the most captivating thing about you might be what you don't say. Stay close. Sign 10, even when you don't feel beautiful, you're still admired. So ladies, imagine this. It's one of those days. You threw on whatever was clean, didn't bother with much makeup, hair's doing its own thing, and you're running errands or showing up somewhere just trying to stay under the radar. You don't feel particularly put together. You're not in the mood to turn heads, you just want to get through the day. And then it happens. Someone stops you to compliment your smile. A man turns to look at you twice. A friend says, "You look so good today," and you almost laugh because internally you feel like a mess. That, my friends, is sign 10. Even when you don't feel beautiful, you're still admired. Because true magnetism isn't about polish. It's not your eyeliner or your outfit. It's not about the angle of your selfie or whether you shaved your legs. It's your frequency. It's the energy you move with when you're not performing. It's the essence that shows up when you're just being raw, real human. Carl Jung said, "True essence radiates in the absence of self-doubt." And when you're not focused on how you look, when you're not trying to be attractive, you often are the most attractive. Why? Because your energy isn't tense, performative, or self-conscious. It's open, natural, effortless. And that's when your soul starts speaking louder than your styling. You've been taught to believe that you have to try harder, do more, add more. But sometimes, what captures him isn't anything you put on, it's what you stop hiding. Denzel would say, "You're not seen because you tried, you're seen because you are." So the next time you feel off, undone, unready, and someone compliments you anyway, don't brush it off and don't deflect it, and let it remind you. You don't need to be on to be powerful. You already radiate something no mirror can reflect. And the wildest part, that quiet glow you don't even see in yourself, he does, clearly, constantly. Now just imagine what happens when your energy is so strong. Even men in relationships can't look away. Yeah, that's where we're going next. Sign 11 is coming, and it's going to make you see your magnetism in a whole new light. Stay with me. Sign 11. He gets confused about how to act around you. So ladies, imagine this. 1 minute he's leaning in, eyes locked, fully engaged, texting you first, making you feel like you're the only woman in the world. The next, he pulls away, goes silent, stops texting back as quickly. The warmth shifts, the presence cools, and you're left wondering, what just happened? You replay the last conversation in your mind, scan your tone, your words, your energy, thinking, did I say something wrong? Did I come on too strong? Is he just not that into me? Let me stop you right there, my friend, because this is sign 11. He gets confused about how to act around you. Carl Jung said, what we cannot integrate, we fear and chase. In other words, when a man encounters something powerful, something real, something he hasn't fully met within himself, he doesn't always lean in with clarity. Sometimes he retreats, not because he's playing games, but because he's overwhelmed by what your presence stirs in him. You're not a maybe, you're a mirror. You reflect his deeper desires, his unspoken longings, his own emotional depth, and that can be a lot to hold, especially for someone who's used to surface-level connections. And so what does he do? He toggles, warm, then distant, present, then pulled back, engaged, then confused. But don't mistake that confusion for apathy. He's not ghosting you because he doesn't care. He's pausing because you touched something he didn't expect to feel. I would say, he's not playing you, he's processing you. And that's the truth. You've stirred something too rich, too real, too meaningful to be handled casually. He needs a minute, not to decide if you're worthy, but to figure out if he can show up fully. So don't chase him and don't shrink for him. Don't twist yourself trying to interpret every shift in his mood. Stay steady, stay radiant, let him rise to meet you. Because when a man steps away to process, and still finds himself drawn back to you, that's not a red flag, that's a soul response. And when you start to understand that your presence doesn't just attract, but transforms, you'll stop questioning the chaos. You'll start trusting your power, which brings us to the final sign. The one most women miss, but the one that makes you unforgettable even in silence. Sign 12 is next, and it's not about what you say. It's about what happens when you say nothing at all. Stay close. Sign 12, your stillness makes the loudest impact. So ladies, imagine this. You're sitting beside him. No music, no conversation, no performance, just you, Present still, quietly taking up space like the world belongs to you without you having to claim it out loud. You're not rushing to fill the silence. You're not explaining yourself. You're not trying to impress him. You're just there, at ease, breathing, glowing without effort. And he's not looking at his phone. He's not fidgeting. He's not bored. He's anchored, captivated by something he can't name. That, my friends, is sign 12. Your stillness makes the loudest impact. Because when a woman stops performing, something sacred happens. She becomes a force. And not the kind that shouts, not the kind that waves its arms for attention, but the kind that settles deep in his bones. The kind that lingers in a man's mind when he's alone, wondering why your silence made him feel more seen than anyone else's words ever did. Carl Jung said, presence is power without performance. And that's what you hold. Your stillness is not emptiness, it's density. It's full of mystery, grace, calm certainty. It tells a man, I don't need to entertain you. I am the experience. You've probably been taught to chase, to charm, to prove you're worth staying for. But the truth is, the woman who can sit in silence, with peace, with softness, with strength, is the woman who never has to beg for presence. She commands it. Denzel would say, a woman who can sit in silence and still be unforgettable, that's divine energy. So if you've ever sat beside someone and noticed that they get quiet, but not in an awkward way, in a reverent way, that's your energy speaking. That's your soul setting the tone. And when silence with you feels like connection instead of a void, that's when you stop being someone he talks to and start being someone he feels. That kind of presence can't be taught, it's remembered. And now that you've seen all 12 signs, maybe you're starting to remember too, that you never had to earn attraction. You are it. You are the echo, the gaze, the pause, the pull. You are what shifts the room without saying a word. So if this video reminded you of your power, even just a little, press that like button. Hit subscribe. Share it with the woman you know needs to hear this. Because you're not just beautiful, you're resonant. And the man who's meant to feel you, he already does. Now let me ask you, how many of these signs have you experienced and brushed off? Because let me be real with you, you are not here to wonder if you're enough. You are not here to dim yourself so someone else can feel comfortable. You are here to glow, to walk like the answer, not the question, to speak with stillness, to move with meaning. So if any part of you still doubts that you are unforgettable, I want you to pause and remember, your energy doesn't ask for permission. It enters, it echoes, and it stays. If this moved you, subscribe, like, and most of all, live it, because the man who's meant to feel you already does.